While I think about it, it might be just as easy to do a small video in order to indicate how the new program screen works. Basically, you have a number of programs. You've got 20, I think, that we said we'd provide. They're all going to be empty at the moment, so there's no point in scrolling through them. But if you, at the moment we start on step one, all the programs start up empty. So what you would do would be to choose what type of step you want to start off with. Start off with an immersion step. So that's the immersion step. Oh, that's beg your pardon, it's gone to vapor. Immersion. So you'll see several things here. We have some options come up that we can include in the immersion step. So you have it with a pump, we can have it with Sonics, and we can use that as a repeat, although in actual fact it will reject it because you can't step back on repeats, you can only step forward. It's automatically created step 2, which is the cycle end. Cycle end will always be created once you change it to a different type of step. So if we switch the Sonics on there, come on boys, it comes up with a power. You don't have power adjustment on your machine, but this is a capability of the machine, and we can put in the time that we want the Sonics to run for, which will be 30 seconds. So there we have that. So if I press the next button, that will take us to step 2. And you'll see our information has moved over to the left-hand side. You can't edit any of this or change any of it. You can only change the one in the middle. So if we now go to another immersion screen there. Let's go. It's very difficult to do this when you're at the side of the machine. Immersion. Okay, so this time we'll have the pump on, and we'll have it for another 30 seconds. And you can see how we're building these things up. So the next step will be 3. We'll make this one an agitation step. It has a lot of options on there for agitations. You can agitate with the pump, you can agitate with the Sonics on, you can agitate with the sprays on. So any of those you can turn on, and you can turn on all 3 if you want at the same time, should you wish to do it. And then the agitations can be done by number, which is as you have it on your existing machine. So if you type in a number there, 10, you can do 10 agitations. Or you can agitate on time. This is a function that some people like. So if I change that to time, the number disappears, and we can put in a time there of 30 seconds. So we've got 30 seconds. This button here, is again like as your current agitation machine has. In fact, your machine has the ability to agitate from the bottom to the vapor position, which is as it is at the moment. Or if you wanted to change that, you can agitate off the sensor. So when it comes off the sensor as it's going up, it goes off the sensor for a certain amount of time. This is in fractions of a second. And then when it sees that time expire, it goes back down. So we can put 2 seconds there. And again, when I press the next button, the step button, it will move over. We keep on getting a cycle end created. And you see it's retained all that information. You can't edit any of that information other than by going in the reverse direction. So if you go back to step 3 and you bring step 3 into view, you don't want to have the off the sensor agitation. You just want to go to vapor. It's ridiculous having sprays on for agitation. So we'll change those. And then as we move on to the next step, you'll see all those settings have remained as we've left them. So the next one, according to the cycle that your machine has at the moment, would be a vapor cycle. Oops, sorry, that's my fiddly finger there. Vapor, got it there. So we can have sprays on, which I think is an option which is particular to your machine, and we have the vapor check. Now the vapor check function was previously on the system setup page, but I've taken it off there because this allows you to have vapor check or not vapor check and several different stages of vapor, so you don't have to wait for the vapor check if you're only just going down to the vapor to try and get an immediate solvent rinse. So we'll have the sprays on there, and we'll put those on for let's have 20 seconds worth of sprays. Sounds like a long time to me, but if we go to the next one, we can then have another vapor step. Oops, here we go. My aim is not very good, but it's because I'm sitting at the side of it. So we won't have the sprays on there, but we will have the vapor check on, and that means it will need to come up to temperature on the vapor sensor before the counter will start to count down, and will give you 40 seconds of vapor there. Enter. So then the next step, cycle end. You can just leave it like that because the cycle end will bring it up to the freeboard position, and you can put in a timer there, 30 seconds. So that would allow you to just do 30 seconds in the freeboard zone and then the sequence would finish. Alternatively, if you wanted to go back to vapor and do another vapor after your freeboard, you can just choose a freeboard cycle, 30 seconds. This allows you also to repeat as well. And then we can go to cycle end there. No, let's go back down to vapor. Yeah, it's not very good. Okay, and we'll have the vapor for 20 seconds. And then we'll have the cycle end there. And that will give us, we'll do 60 seconds in the freeboard. Never have too much freeboard time unless you're tight on your throughput, because that helps you to keep as much solvent as possible. So there we have our sequences. I mean, you can scroll backwards and forwards with those as much as you like, and they will come up with the same options that we saw as we were setting them up. So that is your adjustable sequence. You have up to 20 steps there. You can't go back down past step 1, and if you go along to the end, you can't go beyond step 8. So you can only have one cycle end there. You have to change that in order for a new cycle end step to appear there. The other thing that you can do, if you wish to do so, well, we'll go back to the beginning, something with a bit of showing a few features there. Okay, now if we go to program 2, we've got a new program there. If we go back to program 1, we start at the beginning of program 1 and all our steps are retained as we've gone through. There's no actual button for clearing a program, but if you wanted to clear a program out, go back to the beginning here. If you set this to cycle end, it will delete all the following steps. So you need to be a bit careful about choosing cycle end, but there they are, all gone. That's a brief display of how the thing works. All you have to do is to come out of there and run the cycle, and your run screen is slightly different from the way which it was. That'll be described in the manual that I give you, because I can't force this to go into the run screen from where I am at the moment. So see you on the manual.